Yo, what's up guys, it's ValiantStyle here, and today I wanted to do a bit of a lightning round with y'all, because I really love the idea so far of having all the Saiyans joining the Z Fighters and everything, but I kind of wanted to add to that, I mean, sure, Universe 7 is like known for Saiyans and everything, and then, Universe 6, in reference to, Dragon Ball Super, like has their entire planet of Saiyans, and then, Kaba, Caulifla, and Kale, but because Goku and them really originated this, I just can't help it. I want to add to it. I want to really build it. Yes, that means I am showing more favoritism to the Saiyan race and everything, but the reason why this lightning round is here is more so a lightning round of what if Gine also came with Goku. Yes, Masako X has already done this, but I am going to be making some major differences between my story and his story, in addition to basically skipping over a lot of things that I'm essentially saying would be the same or different, and that's even going for my current story of what if all the Saiyans joined the Z Fighters. So with that, let's begin. So we're gonna go ahead and automatically just skip over Gine and Goku coming to Earth, because I completely agree with Masako X's combination of the Bardock special and Dragon Ball Minus, and I'll probably go into more detail about that in another video, but essentially it's just Bardock is out on mission while Gine is still on the home planet, and then once that mission is down, the Saiyan with the ship that we see in the Broly movie comes over and picks up his entire team that we see in the Bardock special, brings them back, and as they're healing, he runs into Gine, and he doesn't actually get the future sight, but because of the thing of saying the conversation that they actually have on the planet before coming there, before he passes out and everything, is the fact that Frieza has been sending a lot of the Saiyans out on different missions very often, and sometimes on really hard ones, maybe trying to see if they're doing their job or if they can prove to become stronger. But then he hears from Gine that he's not allowed to leave planet because Frieza's ordering all the Saiyans to stay. So then it gives Bardock the idea, wait a minute, Frieza's never wanted to see if we could become stronger, better. He's afraid of us. And he starts thinking along those lines and thinking Frieza might be planning to kill us all now. So then we get into a little bit of Minus, and then he hears about his team going off to another planet before this. It was the last mission that Frieza okayed before everything, and then that part of the Bardock special happens. He comes back all bloodied and injured. He runs into Gine again, who's the only one that believes him, and instead of basically leaving Goku to go to Earth by himself, he throws Gine and Goku into the space pod, or Kakarot at the time I should say, puts his hand on the ship just like you see in the Minus, and wishes them both well, and as they're flying off, he makes sure to fly in the direction of Frieza's forces as they're flying off planet, to basically keep their attention in that part, and basically keeping true to that part of the Bardock special. And because they're not too worried about one single Saiyan spaceship, Frieza lets it go, especially considering that there's one insolent Saiyan trying to fight back. And then from there, events work out the same. Gine is all distraught, wondering what they should do. What if Frieza comes after them? What should they do if loyal Saiyans to Frieza show up and try to find them? She has these thoughts all the way until they land on Earth. And as they land, she's walking out of this pod with the baby and runs into Grandpa Gohan. Now it's here that she starts formulating a small plan of, I just crashed my ship. What if I just use a little bit of amnesia to my effect? So from there, she starts planning out everything that she can, and walking up towards Grandpa Gohan and, hello, where are we? What are we doing here? And Grandpa Gohan is amazed that she just came out of a spaceship and she doesn't know. Grandpa Gohan, being the kind person that he is more so concerned about her well-being. Are you alright, miss? You and your baby seem to have been in a bad accident. And Gine looks at Goku, making actually quite alert too, thinking that she was actually hurt with her own startledness, but realizing like, oh wait, no, I gotta remember that, yeah, we were in the space crash and I gotta play this off. Which turns out to be a little bit cute. But then, as she goes on, Grandpa Gohan asks, do you remember your name? Gine goes, my name is Gine. And Grandpa Gohan asks, okay, what about the boy? He's just my baby, and then from there, Grandpa Gohan simply mentions the name, you know, you two and your tales remind me of the story of Son Goku that I know of. And Goku starts laughing and giggling, and he says Goku one more time, and thusly, our major difference between my version of things and Moscow X's story, due to the fear that Gine felt in just the chasing of Saiyans and everything, she immediately planned everything to where nothing would even be remembered, not even Goku's Saiyan name of Kakarot. So, we still get to have Goku be Goku in this version of things. And to take it a step further, Gine actually asks if he knows a way how they can cut off their tails, which they do, and it does become painful for the both of them, but it's something that Gine truly believes should be done in order for them to blend in with the people of Earth. And this is just everything that Gine is doing in order to protect her and Gohan, the lives that Bardock himself did everything in his power, sacrificed everything in order to make sure that them and other Saiyans could at least try and have a better life, or at least live through what Frieza had originally planned. Now, from here, it's going to be a little bit faster. We're going to skip forward in time where Goku meets Bulma, and that right there would essentially go a little bit more like it would in the original series, in that Goku would just essentially ride off into the wind with Bulma. He's still a little bit of a rambunctious kid, but Gine would try to talk to him a little bit, make sure this is what he wants to do, and because of the fact it's been long enough, Gine is starting to feel a little bit more relaxed and at peace on Earth, so there's not a lot for her to really do. She's trained with Gohan, and she's actually got to meet Master Roshi because of this. Goku doesn't remember Master Roshi because this would be around a time when Goku was still a baby, as Master Roshi is one of Grandpa Gohan's friends. So from there, Gine would have had some extra training under her belt that would make her a little bit more stronger than what she was on planet Vegeta. And from there, Dragon Ball would essentially be the exact same thing up until the Piccolo saga. In that, you know, once Goku could convince Gine to basically let him go with Bulma, that'd be the end of it. Dragon Ball happens, hits us all at the same notes. Gine is just still making sure, hey Goku, you okay? Doing the mom thing. And then we're golden. But then when King Piccolo comes around, here's a bit of something else that happens. So, interestingly enough, when we get to King Piccolo, we actually have that situation where the Mafuba fails, killing Master Roshi, and this is still playing into the kinder nature of Gine, who doesn't like to fight. So she's been sitting here trying to help out and make sure, but she's also not really done a lot and just basically playing defender while everybody else has fought King Piccolo. When she finally decides to fight King Piccolo is on the ropes, and Gine is actually pretty much stronger than him, but because of her lack of confidence in her own fear and her own dislike of fighting, she causes herself to create a mistake or an opening that almost costs her a life, almost, and she just falls to the ground very badly injured. Goku, seeing all of this, you know, after just beating up Drum, I think it is, one of King Piccolo's kids that he spat up, that killed Krillin, he comes to the scene where he sees Chaozu and Master Roshi dead, and his own mother very badly injured. Now, in the fight against King Piccolo, where Tien is there, and Goku shows up to kill King Piccolo, here is the next interesting thing. Goku actually beats King Piccolo more soundly because we get a small glimpse at what most people in the Dragon Ball fandom would consider false Super Saiyan. Now I say a glimpse, so I would say like if the image of false Super Saiyan is the real deal, I would say this is like a prequel to even the false Super Saiyan God. I mean Super Saiyan and then Super Saiyan. But even with that, King Piccolo is still able to leave his heir Piccolo, and we move on from there. Going into the World Martial Arts Tournament, all the way into they're old enough and everything. Again, Goku still hasn't, as Goku's getting older, he goes out in his time to train and find new masters and learn all these different things. But then once Goku actually becomes old enough and actually gets engaged to Chi-Chi at the World Martial Arts Tournament where he fights Piccolo, or Piccolo Jr. would be more apt, he decides to go off with his mother as well as Chi-Chi in some of the small adventures that they do, like when Goku and Chi-Chi had to save the Ox King's kingdom from that grand fire using the Banshee fan, as well as Goku training with his mother, not only making her stronger, but building up a better bond, as that her son has essentially been a globetrotter since he was a child. Something that Saiyans are normally supposed to do, but it's just a feeling of not really getting to raise Goku that makes Gine accept this a bit more, and then transition into Dragon Ball Z. As we sit there, Gine is living with Goku and Chi-Chi and a new baby Gohan. And as they're sitting there getting ready, things start happening as basically Raditz comes onto the planet and he finds a power signature that he finds incredibly odd and incredibly strong to be here on Earth, flying over to not Kame house, but Goku's house, and finding Goku's wife and Gine. When Goku decides to go visit the Kame house and to introduce Gohan, Chi-Chi and Gine decide to have, girls' day. Decided to prepare for some food for later in case everybody wanted to come back to their house, or prepare something that they can possibly bring. They'd be able to decide a little bit later. But they decide to let Goku just go back and be with some of his old friends that are all over at Kame house, and he wants to introduce his son. But little did they know, Raditz is on his way. Running into this, Raditz first runs into Chi-Chi asking, basically asking, where's the person with the power level? Chi-Chi asked, what do you mean? Who are you? And basically all types of worried. But Chi-Chi herself isn't exactly anybody to sleep on, considering that she's been training with her mother-in-law and her husband. And it's not until Gine hears the ruckus that she steps outside and Raditz sees his mother for the first time in years. Gine, looking eye to eye, Gine is just filled with so much happiness knowing that her other boy is also alive. Explaining exactly the situation to Raditz as is, leaving Chi-Chi in a bit of a fuzz just at in what exactly is going on. She's not exactly sure. And then, once things calm down for Gine a little bit after being reunited with her son Raditz, she then turns to Chi-Chi to explain this is Goku's older brother Raditz, and explains that she's actually been hiding the fact that they're aliens. And it's such a big revelation to Chi-Chi that it's surprising that one, that they hid something like that for so long, and two, that Gine would hide something like that as a whole from them. Or actually, more so the fact that Gine technically lied. Raditz would also be puzzled and wondering, how did you escape Planet Vegeta and where's your tail? Also explaining that, Raditz would understand, inheriting more so of that cautiousness that Gine possesses as well into himself, which is how he has survived for so long. And then, when he explains why he's here and looking for Goku, Gine just simply asks, can you ignore that order and somehow find a way to live with us? Raditz actually ponders this and actually thinks, I could live a life with my family. I could do this. It could provide me with so much more than Frieza's forces ever could. But at the same time, Raditz's fear of Frieza overwhelms his own curiosity of actually wanting to live with his own family. And thus, we move into what I've already stated in my previous, or I should say my first initiation of the What If series, or What If All the Saiyans Joined the Z Fighters, in Raditz fighting Goku, Raditz flying off. Gine is beside herself. She doesn't know what to do. She understands the reasoning behind Raditz fighting Goku in the way that he did in Goku's subsequent death, on top of which Goku having to fight Raditz for kidnapping Gohan. Oh, a little bit of a rewind. Once Raditz does make the decision to basically follow the orders from above to find Goku, and not wanting to fight Frieza and also Vegeta and Nappa, he flies off to Kame House, and essentially the exact same thing happens over again. Fast forward again. Gine is, again, understanding of the entire situation, but at the same time beside herself. What should she do with her son that's killed her other son? It's for survival, but not like this. Not her boys. Does she condemn him? Does she not welcome him back? What does she do? What does she do when she next sees Raditz again? And it wouldn't be too long, because once Raditz does go through the same thing in part 1 in meeting with Piccolo and Gohan and having that time training, because Piccolo would still kidnap Gohan and do all that, Gine would actually do her best to look for Piccolo because of Gohan being kidnapped and being like, no, I'm not going to lose 2 family members in the same time span. And because of how well Piccolo has actually trained himself to be able to hide his energy, and because of the fact Gine hasn't really gone out fighting like that, nor really used her ability as such, is actually forcing her to train and will be able to look into actually figuring out power signatures. Until one day when she finally catches up, is in the middle of a training session with Piccolo, Raditz, and Gohan. It's here that all she can do is walk up to her oldest boy and smack him, crying in his arms. How could you do that to your little brother? With Piccolo on the side simply explaining, we've already got a plan to use the Dragon Balls to bring back Goku. Gine hasn't been back at home, let me remind you. She's actually been using day and night to use her abilities to find Gohan for Chi-Chi. And Chi-Chi has spent time with Master Roshi and them over at Kame House. Goku's house has actually been empty for a little while, close to 2 months. Because of this. And then, when the revelation of Goku being brought back to life is had, she begins to wonder what's up with the training, what's going on, and asking all the right questions essentially. And then it's explained that Vegeta and Nappa are headed to Earth to fight and kill Raditz for not properly getting the job done and running away and being a quote disgrace to the Saiyan race. Hearing this, Raditz's mother can only embrace Raditz, calming him down and saying that I have faith that you and your brother will be able to take care of the prince. Having a mother's blessing, she can only sit there and wallow in her own fear while Raditz asks, I'm standing up to them, mother. Will you not stand with us too? And it becomes one of the biggest decisions of Gine's life. And I think I'm going to actually leave it right there. I know I said it was going to be a lightning round, but damn, it ended up being a little bit longer than I thought. So, if you want a part 2 of this lightning round thing to catch up with Gine and the others, let me know in the comments below. So that way either we can continue off with part 4 of What If All the Saiyans Joined the Z Fighters with Gine's version of things, or just continue on with Raditz, Nappa, and Vegeta. Let me know. As always guys, until next time, I'll see you next time.